My siblings held a funeral for me while I was on vacation. They were trying to claim my life insurance. My morning coffee tastes different now. Better, maybe. I'm sitting in a cafe in Portland with people who chose to love me, not people who shared my DNA and tried to profit from my death. Turns out family is something you build, not something you're stuck with. Took me 34 years and a fake funeral to learn that. I came home from 2 weeks in Iceland to find my apartment emptied. Furniture gone, clothes packed in boxes labeled for donation, walls bare. My landlord looked at me like he'd seen a ghost, literally stammered and backed away when I asked what happened. Your brother said you died. Car accident in Reykjavik. He had a death certificate and everything. Said he was clearing out your place. I called my brother Landon immediately. He answered and the silence stretched so long I thought the call had dropped. Alex? His voice was strangled. Yeah, why is my apartment empty? He hung up. I called my sister Beverly next. She started crying and hung up too. Then my phone exploded with messages. Cousins, coworkers, friends from college all saying they'd attended my funeral 3 days ago. That it was beautiful. That they'd miss me. My funeral. While I was hiking glaciers and eating Icelandic hot dogs, my siblings held a funeral for me. I went to the police, showed them my very alive self, my passport stamped with entry and exit from Iceland, proof I'd been out of the country. They pulled records. Landon had filed a fraudulent death certificate, had claimed my life insurance policy, $500,000 that I'd set up years ago when I got my first real job. The beneficiaries were supposed to be split between my siblings and a charity. They decided not to split it at all. The plan was simple and stupid. Report me dead while I was abroad and unreachable. File the paperwork before I got back. Collect the money and disappear before I returned. They hadn't counted on me coming home early. Hadn't counted on me existing. The detective said this happens more than people think. Family members declaring relatives dead for financial gain. Usually it's elderly people, vulnerable adults. Less common with someone my age, but greed makes people creative. Landon and Beverly were arrested 2 days later. Fraud, identity theft, insurance fraud. They're both facing felony charges. My younger brother James called to apologize. Said he'd known something was wrong but was too afraid to say anything. I told him we were done. All of them. I was done. The life insurance company apologized profusely. Sent flowers, which felt darkly funny. Sending flowers to someone whose funeral you nearly funded. I moved to Portland last month. Fresh start, new city. My best friend Zoe lives here, helped me find an apartment, introduced me to her circle. People who actually care if I'm alive. I went to therapy to process what my siblings did. The therapist said it's a profound betrayal, that it's normal to grieve the family I thought I had. I am grieving, but I'm also relieved. I don't have to pretend anymore that we're close just because we share parents. Last week Landon sent a letter from jail. Long apology, said he was desperate for money, made terrible choices, hoped I could forgive him someday. I burned it. Some things don't deserve forgiveness. Beverly hasn't reached out at all. I think that's worse somehow. The absence of remorse. James keeps texting. Wants to rebuild our relationship. Says he misses me. I don't respond. Maybe someday, but not now. Right now I'm learning what it feels like to be surrounded by people who wouldn't cash in on my death. My coworker Fiona asked yesterday if I have siblings. I said no. It felt true. The people who held a funeral for me while I was eating fish stew in Reykjavik aren't my siblings. They're strangers who happen to share my genetics. I'm building something new here. Found a hiking group, joined a book club, started volunteering at an animal shelter. Simple things that make life feel full. Nobody here knows about the funeral, about coming back from the dead. I'm just Alex, the guy who moved from Chicago, likes mystery novels, can't keep houseplants alive. Yesterday, I updated my life insurance. Changed the beneficiary to Zoe and the animal shelter. People who see me as a person, not a dollar amount. This morning, Zoe texted asking if I wanted to get breakfast. I'm meeting her in 20 minutes. We'll probably talk about nothing important. Maybe the new season of that show we're watching. Maybe her terrible dating app stories. Normal things that remind me I'm alive. Actually alive, not just legally alive. Living in a way I never did when I was performing family for people who saw me as disposable. My coffee's getting cold. Zoe just walked in, waved, is ordering at the counter. She's wearing a ridiculous hat and she's smiling and she's never once tried to declare me dead. That's love, that's family. The kind you choose, the kind that chooses you back. I'm done grieving what I lost. I'm celebrating what I found. A life that's actually mine. No asterisk, no fraudulent death certificate, no siblings dividing up my belongings while I'm still breathing. Just me, alive, drinking good coffee with people who are glad about it. Turns out that's worth more than any life insurance policy, and I'm worth more than they ever saw. Finally, I believe that